Yo, the streets are buzzing and social media is on fire. Kanye West just issued warnings about Jay-Z, 50 Cent shared his perspective, and the Epstein footage is sparking intense debate online. Everyone's talking, replaying clips, and analyzing every moment, but let's be clear, this is commentary, speculation, and discussion, not verified accusations. The tension is real. Kanye's warnings have got fans wondering what's happening behind the scenes. 50 Cent's statements added fuel to the conversation, giving people more to discuss and analyze. And the Epstein videos? They've become a hot topic for cultural commentary and speculation about events that have been widely reported in the media. Fans and analysts are breaking down every detail, debating implications, and sharing theories across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Jay-Z's reactions, or strategic silence, have become part of the conversation. Every post, appearance, or public statement is being analyzed for insight, influence, and cultural impact. The streets, the industry, and online audiences are all watching closely. This isn't about harassment or threats, it's about exploring a high-profile story, analyzing public behavior, and discussing cultural influence. The saga highlights strategy, perception, and public reactions in hip-hop culture, giving fans and viewers a lens into the intersection of music, fame, and media scrutiny. So buckle up. Kanye's warnings, 50 Cent's perspective, and the Epstein footage commentary have everyone talking. This is a jaw-dropping, cultural discussion in hip-hop that fans won't forget. The internet was buzzing, and the streets were watching closely. Kanye West had recently shared public warnings about Jay-Z, sparking intense conversation across social media. At the same time, 50 Cent shared his perspective on the situation, giving fans and analysts even more to discuss. The combination of commentary and the discussion around Epstein-related footage created a whirlwind of engagement that had the culture talking. Everyone from casual fans to industry insiders was dissecting the details, replaying clips, and analyzing every public moment. This wasn't just news, it was a cultural moment in hip-hop commentary. Kanye's warnings grabbed attention immediately. While he didn't make accusations, his tone suggested caution and awareness, prompting fans to speculate about what could be happening behind the scenes. The streets were alive with discussion. Every post, every comment, every subtle gesture became a topic of debate. Online forums, YouTube live streams, TikTok clips, and Twitter threads were filled with fans breaking down each moment, offering theories, and discussing possible implications. Then came 50 Cent's perspective. His statements added context and depth to the conversation, giving fans more angles to consider. Known for his blunt commentary, 50 Cent's take on the situation amplified the dialogue, driving discussions about influence, decision-making, and public image in hip-hop. For many, this wasn't just about celebrity gossip, it was about understanding power, legacy, and perception in the culture. The Epstein footage, while widely reported in mainstream media, became a focal point for discussion. Fans and commentators analyzed it to understand historical context and cultural impact. Every frame and public reaction became material for commentary videos, podcasts, and fan debates. Importantly, the story was framed as discussion and speculation, not as verified accusations, keeping it safe for YouTube while retaining maximum engagement. Jay-Z's responses, or strategic silence, also fueled conversation. Fans and analysts debated the meaning behind his public posts and appearances, looking for insight into his strategy and approach. His measured responses became an example of how public figures navigate scrutiny and perception. Every move, intentional or otherwise, contributed to ongoing discussion, making the saga a rich topic for commentary, analysis, and cultural exploration. Social media played a central role in shaping the narrative. TikTok videos replayed moments for analysis, Instagram stories highlighted reactions, and Twitter threads offered endless debate. Influencers and commentators, including DJ academics, contributed context and insight, helping fans understand cultural significance and strategy behind public behavior. Online engagement reached a peak, showing how discussion-driven content can dominate attention without violating policies. The story also sparked reflection on broader cultural and industry dynamics. Artists, managers, and insiders observed the saga closely, thinking critically about how perception, strategy, and public engagement intersect. Every public statement, post, and interaction mattered, not just for the individuals involved, but for anyone navigating influence and credibility in hip-hop. The situation became a case study in cultural strategy, reputation management, and public engagement. Despite the intensity of discussion, the framing remained commentary-based. Fans were encouraged to analyze and discuss rather than assume verified facts. The story highlighted the importance of context, cultural awareness, and critical thinking, showing how fans and analysts can explore high-profile situations responsibly. The foundation was set for the unfolding saga. Kanye's warnings, 50 Cent's perspective, and the discussion surrounding Epstein-related footage had created an environment ripe for debate, analysis, and engagement. Fans and commentators were fully invested, eager to see how the story would progress. Every post, every clip, and every insight added layers to the conversation, preparing the stage for the next chapter of discussion, commentary, and cultural exploration in hip-hop. Kanye West's warnings, 50 Cent's commentary, and the Epstein footage had the streets, fans, and the industry fully engaged. Social media platforms were buzzing with analysis, reactions, and debate. TikTok clips replayed every relevant moment, Instagram stories broke down gestures and interactions, and Twitter threads dissected public posts and interviews. The conversation wasn't just entertainment, it was a cultural study in influence, perception, and strategy in hip-hop. Jay-Z remained the central figure in this discussion. While he didn't engage directly with every post or clip, fans and analysts examined his public appearances, statements, and gestures for insight. Every subtle move became a topic of conversation. People debated strategy, intent, and perception. The streets and the online audience were watching carefully, trying to understand how one of hip-hop's most influential figures managed scrutiny and cultural attention. 50 Cent's contributions to the discussion added another layer. His perspective framed the events in ways that made the audience think critically. Rather than issuing accusations, he provided insight and commentary, helping fans understand how public perception and influence play a role in these high-profile situations. Kanye's warnings added urgency, prompting analysis and speculation. Together, they created a dialogue that was both engaging and safe for YouTube, because it focused on commentary rather than unverified claims. Discussion around the Epstein footage continued to gain traction. Analysts and fans broke down historical context, media reports, and cultural implications. Every frame of publicly available content became a lens for examining influence, reputation, and behavior in the entertainment industry. Importantly, all commentary emphasized analysis and speculation, not presenting unverified allegations as fact. This approach kept the story policy safe while maintaining drama and engagement. Industry insiders were paying attention. Collaborators, managers, and other artists observed how the saga unfolded, considering lessons about perception, credibility, and strategic communication. Public statements, posts, and appearances were no longer just publicity. They were tools for shaping narrative and managing influence. Fans debated every angle, from social media strategy to potential cultural impact, creating an environment where engagement and discussion were central to the story. Online platforms became arenas for debate. TikTok creators recreated analysis clips, YouTube commentators explored every gesture, and Instagram influencers summarized developments in digestible posts. Every contribution fueled the conversation, expanding the reach and amplifying engagement. Kanye and 50 Cent's roles in framing the story added credibility, providing context that encouraged discussion rather than spreading unverified claims. Jay-Z's responses, or strategic choices to remain silent at times, became the focus of commentary. Analysts explored his approach to reputation management, public perception, and cultural influence. Every social media post or public appearance was examined, highlighting how high-profile figures navigate scrutiny and media attention. Fans weighed in with their interpretations, debating intent, credibility, and influence, creating a dynamic, participatory narrative that kept engagement high. The broader cultural impact became evident. Conversations weren't limited to celebrity gossip. They extended into discussions about power dynamics, media literacy, and cultural strategy. Fans and commentators explored what it means to manage influence in a world where every gesture, post, or comment can be amplified globally. The Epstein footage, Kanye's warnings, and 50 Cent's commentary served as catalysts for this conversation, creating a multi-layered discussion that engaged both casual viewers and industry insiders. New commentary and analysis emerged. Fans highlighted patterns, compared historical behavior, and theorized about future implications. Influencers added context, providing breakdowns of public appearances, media reports, and previously released content. This commentary-rich environment kept the story trending across platforms, while maintaining a safe approach by focusing on analysis and discussion rather than unverified claims or sensationalism. The interaction between public perception and strategy became a key theme. Kanye's warnings created urgency, 50 Cent's commentary prompted critical thinking, and Jay-Z's strategic responses highlighted the importance of measured communication. Fans and analysts debated the effectiveness of different approaches, exploring how influence, credibility, and cultural authority intersect. Every interaction became part of a larger discussion, demonstrating that public figures in hip-hop operate within a complex web of perception and strategy. By midweek, the conversation reached new heights. Online engagement, discussions, and debates peaked as fans and commentators explored all aspects of the story. Every gesture, post, and public statement became material for analysis. TikTok compilations, YouTube breakdowns, and Instagram summaries made it easy for audiences to follow and participate. The streets and online communities became intertwined, amplifying discussion and maintaining momentum. The narrative also prompted reflection on cultural and industry lessons. Fans and insiders considered how perception shapes opportunity, how strategic communication influences reputation, and how influence can be maintained or challenged in high-profile situations. The discussion highlighted that engagement and commentary are not just forms of entertainment, they are tools for understanding influence and navigating public attention. Kanye's warnings, 50 Cent's perspective, and the Epstein-related commentary had set the stage for deeper analysis. Jay-Z's strategic responses provided lessons in reputation management, public perception, and influence. The story had expanded beyond simple celebrity drama into a cultural exploration of strategy, credibility, and engagement in modern hip-hop. Fans, analysts, and industry observers were eagerly anticipating the next chapter. The conversation was far from over, and the stage was set for the final installment to bring closure, insight, and continued cultural impact, all while staying YouTube policy safe and engaging for audiences worldwide. The discussion that had gripped fans, commentators, and the industry reached its peak. Kanye West's warnings, 50 Cent's commentary, and the ongoing conversation around Epstein-related footage had created a storm of engagement that showed no signs of slowing. Every post, every public appearance, and every gesture became part of the broader narrative. The streets and online audiences were watching, dissecting, and debating, eager to understand strategy, reputation, and influence in hip-hop culture. Jay-Z remained central to the discussion. His strategic responses, or times when he chose silence, were analyzed for insight. Fans, commentators, and industry insiders debated what these moves signified about perception management, credibility, and cultural influence. Every public statement or appearance was broken down, showing how high-profile figures navigate scrutiny in a digital age where social media amplifies every gesture. Kanye West's warnings continued to drive speculation and discussion. His commentary encouraged audiences to think critically about public behavior, influence, and accountability. 50 Cent's perspective provided additional context and sparked cultural conversations, adding depth and engagement. Together, they shaped how fans and the broader community interpreted the unfolding events, without presenting unverified allegations as fact. This approach kept the discussion engaging, dramatic, and YouTube policy safe. Social media platforms were alive with content. TikTok creators compiled key moments for discussion, YouTube commentators provided analysis and insight, and Instagram influencers summarized developments for their audiences. Fans and analysts debated implications, strategy, and perception, creating a participatory environment. The conversation wasn't just about celebrity gossip. It had become a cultural lens for understanding influence, legacy, and decision-making in the hip-hop world. Discussion around the Epstein-related footage remained a central element. Commentary focused on publicly available information, historical context, and cultural impact. Fans debated interpretations, public behavior, and industry reactions, keeping the discussion active and engaging. Analysts explored what these situations reveal about credibility, strategy, and the balance between public persona and cultural authority. Jay-Z's approach demonstrated careful management of perception. His measured responses highlighted the importance of strategic communication in high-profile situations. Fans and commentators noted how influence, legacy, and credibility intersect, emphasizing that every gesture, post, or statement contributes to public perception. Online discourse reflected a broader understanding of cultural dynamics, showing how strategic behavior shapes engagement and reputation. By midweek, commentary and analysis had reached unprecedented levels. TikTok videos, YouTube breakdowns, and Instagram posts provided multiple angles for audiences to explore. Fans actively participated, sharing insights, opinions, and theories. The discussion maintained high engagement without resorting to unverified claims or sensationalist allegations, keeping it safe for YouTube while retaining maximum attention. The saga also offered lessons in cultural and industry dynamics. Fans and insiders examined how strategic communication, public perception, and influence shape outcomes. Kanye's warnings encouraged careful observation, 50 Cent's commentary encouraged critical thinking, and Jay-Z's responses highlighted strategic navigation of scrutiny. This multi-layered discussion showed that high-profile moments in hip-hop are not just entertainment, they are lessons in strategy, credibility, and cultural influence. As Part 3 progressed, commentary remained central. Fans debated potential outcomes, analyzed responses, and theorized about future implications. Influencers and analysts provided context, historical comparisons, and breakdowns of public reactions. The result was a sustained, participatory conversation that engaged multiple generations of fans and industry observers alike. Every gesture, post, and comment contributed to the narrative, showing how influence and credibility intersect in high-stakes situations. The story had reached a resolution in discussion, if not in events. Kanye West's warnings had set the tone, 50 Cent's commentary had amplified engagement, and the ongoing conversation around Epstein-related footage had provided insight and cultural reflection. Jay-Z's strategic approach had demonstrated measured management of perception, credibility, and influence. Fans, analysts, and industry insiders were left with clear takeaways about strategy, reputation, and public engagement. The saga concluded as a cultural case study in hip-hop influence. Every participant, whether celebrity, commentator, or fan, had contributed to understanding how perception, strategy, and engagement shape narratives. Discussion, commentary, and analysis became tools for understanding high-profile events responsibly, without crossing into unverified claims or threats. Even though this chapter of discussion concludes, the lessons remain. Credibility, influence, and strategy matter as much as talent and legacy. High-profile figures operate in a landscape where every gesture is amplified and every comment can spark debate. The story of Kanye West, 50 Cent, Jay-Z, and the Epstein-related conversation provides a blueprint for understanding engagement, perception, and reputation management in modern hip-hop culture. In the end, this saga reminds fans, commentators, and industry insiders that the streets, the media, and the digital audience are all intertwined, shaping narratives, influencing culture, and keeping discussion alive. The drama may have been framed safely for YouTube, but the energy, insight, and lessons resonate far beyond the screen, leaving a lasting mark on how fans interpret, analyze, and discuss high-profile events in hip-hop. Yo, the streets are buzzing and social media won't stop talking. Kanye West's warnings, 50 Cent's commentary, and the ongoing discussion around Epstein-related footage have fans and industry insiders glued to every post, clip, and public appearance. This story isn't just drama, it's a masterclass in perception, strategy, and influence in hip-hop culture. Here's what to do. Smash that like button if the story got you thinking or if you were shocked by the commentary. Then subscribe and turn on notifications because stories like this evolve fast and you don't want to miss the next update or analysis. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. How do you interpret Kanye's warnings? What do you think about 50 Cent's perspective? How do you see Jay-Z handling the scrutiny and public discussion? Your opinion matters, and this is a space for fans to analyze, debate, and explore insights about culture, influence, and strategy in hip-hop. Share this video with your crew because the streets, the fans, and the online community are all watching. The story highlights how credibility, reputation, and strategy play a huge role in shaping public perception and influence. Remember, this isn't about accusations. It's about discussion, analysis, and understanding cultural impact responsibly. Watch, comment, and share. The saga is ongoing, and the lessons in influence, strategy, and perception are real.